This is the retake ticket for Learning Target L, surface area. I'm just going to go ahead and get started with the prism. We don't really have a formula for these things. We have more of an approach where we are going to try to break these down into the shapes that we see. So I'm going to try to color code them as best I can as we go, and you can follow along with me on your paper. The bottom one is a rectangle. The top is a rectangle, and that dimension is 5 by 6. I like to just draw a basic rectangle just because it cues some of my memory about how to find formulas and things like that. Multiply by 2 because I've got 2 of them, right? And I'll come back and find the area of those things individually. We then have a right side and a left side. The area of that rectangle, or the dimensions I should say, are 6 by 7, and I have 2 of those, so I'm going to have times 2. The last one is the front and back. Will be a little bit harder to shade these to keep them all separate, but we've got a front and then there is a back, and those dimensions are 5 along the bottom and 7 along that front edge. That 7 came from this back side right there. So it's 5 by 7 for the pink rectangle. And again, we have 2 of those. So I've got my general approach here. Now it's just a matter of finding the area of these things and calculating them out, add them all up. So we'll start with that top green one again. I like to write the area of the individual piece on the inside, so 6 times 5. Let's see, area equals, for these we're using the formula area equals base times height. Alright, so it's 6 times 5 gives us 30, but since we have 2 of them, I need to multiply that by 2. 6 times 5 is 30, 30 times 2 is 60. Over here, I will have 6 times 7, which is 42. Alright, but then we need to multiply that by 2, and so we've got 84. And then finally, my last one down below, 7 times 5 is 35, and 35 times 2 is 70. Now I'm just going to take all of these and add them together. We've got 60 plus 84 plus 70 for a total of 214, and the meters, or it's the units, excuse me, are square meters. The units are square meters. For my next shape, we've got a cylinder, and a cylinder is broken into 2 things. The top and the bottom are circles with, in this situation, a radius of 2. So I'll draw those circles, or just one circle actually, out here. I will label my important information, which in a circle, the only thing that matters when we're finding the area is the radius. And I know that I have 2 of them, so I'll put a times 2 out front. So again, area formula for that circle is pi r squared. We'll come back and find the rest of the area when we are done. The other thing that we need to find the area of is this outside stripe here, this piece, and this is a rectangle, okay, that wraps around the circles. And the dimensions of that rectangle actually have a lot to do with that circle. We of course know the height of this rectangle is 6. Okay? We can take that right from the given height of the cylinder. But what we need to also find is the length all the way across the top. And that is the part that wraps around. And so in this situation, we need the circumference. So you will have to use both the circumference and the area formula when you are trying to find the surface area of a cylinder. So this situation, 2 times pi times the radius, which is 2. So I will now find my circle pi r squared, or pi 2 squared, which is 12.56. I need to take that, I need to double it. I need to multiply it by 2. And I'm just doing this on my calculator as I go. I can just leave my answer in there so it's not rounded. The two circles combined is 25.13. So that's part of my solution. Now I also need to find the area of this rectangle. Back to the area of the rectangle, formula is area equals base times height. So I'm going to take the height, or the base, which we can call 2 times pi times 2, and I'm going to multiply that by 6. I don't even like to calculate the top circumference independently because then I've seen a lot of students make mistakes to where they just think that's the area. So I like to just multiply it all. I'm going to use the calculator anyways. So it's 2 times pi times 2 times 6. And the area of my rectangle is 75.398. Now, of course, I will be rounding all of these answers in the end. So you don't need to round right away. Don't worry too much about it until the very end. I'm going to add 25.13 to the 75.398 for a total surface area of 100.5 square centimeters. All right. The pyramid is probably one of the more difficult ones alongside with the cylinder. We need to remember that we are looking for two basic shapes will happen anytime you have a pyramid. For sure, we are going to have a base. In this base, this situation, it's a square, right? That red square is a 9 by 9. We only have one of them in this situation, and so I can quickly find the area of that square. 9 times 9 is 81. The other key, though, is the triangles. The triangles are going to be a little bit trickier depending on the level. Now, this is a sea level practice, and so we have the base of that triangle is 9. The height of the triangle is 10. That's where this 10 comes in down the side. We call that the slant height. We need the slant height to find surface area because we need the height of the triangle. Not the height of the pyramid, height of the triangle. So we follow that slant height down the side. I've got 4 of these around the outside of my square. So I'll find the area of 1, and I will multiply by 4. Now, the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. The 1/2 does not tell us half the area. The 1/2 is the formula for the area of the triangle. Remember that. So right now, I'm going to find the area of one triangle by multiplying 1/2 times 9 times 10, and I have an answer of 45. That is the area of one complete triangle. I need to take that number and I need to multiply it by 4. So I'll take 45 times 4 for a total of 180. 180 alongside the 81 from the square base. My surface area in this situation is 261 square meters. Number 4, a cone. A cone follows, similar to a pyramid, there are going to be two shapes. The two shapes are always, in a cone, you always have a circular base. So one of them will be a circle with a radius of 7. Maybe I'm just going to write the formula down right away. It's pi 7 squared. The other shape, if you deconstruct a cone, is what I commonly refer to as a Pac-Man shape. It's a circle with a sector taken out of it. The formula for this part, which is going to be on your formula sheets, is pi times r times L. L standing again, like we did in the pyramid, for slant height. Radius, of course, is going to come from your circle. So we've got two formulas, pi r squared up top which we can calculate right away. 49, 7 squared is 49 times pi. We get 153.938. Down below here, we're going to multiply pi times our radius from our circle base and our slant height, which is 15, for a total of 329.867. And again, don't worry about rounding until the end, right? No sense in adding any pressure or any work along the way. We're going to take that 153.938, we're going to add it to the 329.867, and we will have our final total surface area, 483.8. And our units were inches, so we have square. Surface area is in square units and square inches. All right, last question on the front here is the sphere. The sphere is one that we do not have a real good way to break up, so we just have to use the formula 4 pi r squared. Okay? Essentially, it is 4 circles. Pi r squared is 1 circle. We have that 4 in front. There are 4 circles that kind of mold or meld together and to cover a sphere. You don't have to understand too much of the complex workings of surface area. We just need to know how to use the formula. So I'll plug in the radius, which again is that point from the center to the edge. Our radius here is 6. So the surface area of this is 4 pi 6 squared. I'll just type that into my calculator just as I see it. 4 pi 6 squared. Hit enter. And our surface area here is 452.4. And again, we're in centimeters, so we have square centimeters. All right, please rewatch the video if you have any questions along the way. And if not, continue practicing on your own with the following 5 examples.